Hello ladies, I hope this finds you doing well. This is Jenny Reece here with another video about superhero posture. This video is a little different because I'm going to share with you a contemplation from my religious practice that has a direct influence on how I carry my body through space. We'll be talking about the most fundamental posture skill of all, how to stand. Having done all you can do, just stand. Hopefully, you've been standing since you were 1. I had a yoga teacher once who said, "It doesn't matter how advanced you are, never be afraid to be a beginner." So, in that light, despite all of your experience, I hope you'll practice with me. The first skill is to make the best use of your feet. Let's spread out the weight of your body between 3 points. On the ball of your foot, you want weight on the big toe mound and the little toe mound. Feel the same pressure on both sides of each foot. And now add your heels to the party. Feel the same amount of pressure on all 3 points in both feet. When I get that right, I can feel my ankles activate. And now what? To be as good at standing as Siddhartha, if you remember that book from your required reading list, it needs to feel easy and light. Let me share with you 2 words that I've learned from my religious practice. You may already know that I'm taking Hebrew classes at our synagogue, and I'm pleased to say that I can read this word. It says tzaddik. The word is translated righteous, and I always thought it had to do with being a good person. You know, you do the things you should do and don't do the things you shouldn't. But like many Hebrew words, this one has a concrete, real-world meaning behind the abstract and figurative one. It means straight, normal, right. If you've had a geometry or a physics class, you know that these words refer to angular relationships, right angles. It turns out that righteous in the Bible means kind of the same thing. It's more about relationships than deeds. The most important relationship is with God, of course, and He wants to have a right relationship with us. And that relationship is signaled by our right relationships with the other beings around us. Just like God treats me with dignity and respect, I do my best to make and maintain square relationships with all kinds of people.
The sportos, motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
I practice this in every way I can imagine, including in my body. So while I contemplate the abstract meaning, I practice the concrete. Notice the picture of the plumb line. You know how this tool works. A carpenter holds the plumb bob on a string, and the hanging bob tells the carpenter if his wall is straight or not. Now imagine you are the plumb bob. Notice on this didactic skull model that above your ear holes, and maybe slightly in front, there's a place where 3 cranial bones meet. Find the spot on top of your head. It's often more tender than the rest of your scalp. Even pull your hair a little there so you remember the spot. And now imagine a string rising from there, pulling your whole frame straight, and your feet are still standing on those 3 points on each foot. Ha, ha, ha. Easy and light. Now let's add one more idea. This Hebrew word is yashar, and it is usually translated as upright. But the underlying concrete meaning is level, smooth, and straight. So let's add level to our standing practice, focused on the hips. Grab your 2 hip bones so your palms are on the sides of your hips and your thumbs can feel the top of the hip bones. If the thumbs went up and squeezed, they'd be in your waist. But now they just rest each one on the top edge of the hip bone. And your fingers curl around the fronts of the hip bones. Your elbows point back and your shoulders are dropping. Point your index fingers. Now look, are your 2 fingers level? Are they level to the ground and level to each other? Do they point up or down? You might need a mirror to help with this. Sometimes we have unconscious habits that affect our posture, but noticing is the first step to changing it. As a girl, I developed a habit of standing with my right knee bent more than the left, which made my hips unlevel and introduced side-to-side curves in my spine and made it easy for me to hold my head tipped down. I was a shy little girl. As an adult, I had trouble with my low back and neck, but once I noticed that habit of standing, I have begun to correct it. I still stand like that when I'm feeling shy, but I practice straight and level standing so much that I have other habits now too. So with 2 feet standing on 3 points each, the plumb line attached to my head to straighten my frame and my hips on the level, I stand in relation to the ground. And I let those words I just practiced in my body, square, straight, right, level, smooth, be ideas that guide me as I move through life. That's all I have today. I hope you found a few ideas to help you practice superhero posture. If you notice anything in your standing practice, like say your right foot doesn't know how to stand on 3 points, or your fingers aren't level even when you shift around, tell me the next time you come into the office. It's my job to help you with these kinds of tissue issues, and in the process, help you relax. Thank you for joining me on this contemplative journey, and I'll see you soon.